Welcome back, Truth Seekers. If you missed part 1, Vincent Gigante, a 26-year-old boxer turned mafia enforcer, got ordered to assassinate Frank Costello, the untouchable mafia boss. He fired 4 shots, 2 in the shoulder, 2 in the head. Should have been lights out, but Costello survived. None of the 4 bullets penetrated a vital part of his body. Even the headshots, one grazed his ear, one lodged in the skull without brain damage. At that point, Vincent was living his last days and knew even if he fled to another country with his family, they'd find them. No choice but to wait, hoping Costello forgot his face or didn't know him. And indeed, that's what happened. In every investigation with Costello, they asked, "Who did this to you?" He said, "I don't know." Not only that, after leaving the hospital, he gathered the 5 gang bosses and said, "I don't know who tried to kill me, and I'm sure he'll try again sometime. So I want to hand over mafia leadership to someone else, and it should be Vito Genovese." Everyone was shocked by Costello's decision. First, because he hated Genovese. Second, how could someone as domineering and arrogant as him give up mafia leadership so easily? But things went smoothly, and Genovese became leader of all. The one who's watching us for the first time, we're the Did You Know channel, and we talk about everything unknown, strange, and mysterious. Before we continue today's episode, I want you to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Vincent was happy because Costello didn't know and the story ended well. But 2 days later, as Vincent walked the street, Costello's car stopped next to him. Costello opened the window and said, "I recognized you, but the family's safety is more important than killing you and your whole family." Of course, Costello understood the story's magnitude and knew Genovese wouldn't stay silent about killing his assistant. So Costello said, "Thank God I survived. Let me stay quiet, let the story pass smoothly, let me retire from crime and die naturally in bed. Better." Importantly, after Genovese took mafia leadership, everything changed 180 degrees. Killing, crime, extortion returned stronger than before. Genovese was a crime block, and at the same time it gave absolute powers to whom? His right-hand man, Vincent. Vincent was 26 then, with absolute powers to do whatever he wanted. That's why he turned into a breaking beast, and at the same time, he was a skilled negotiator and debater. In front of everyone, he was just an assistant, but really, he was the mastermind of everything. To the point Genovese was just a front image. Everything happening in all mafia corners was Vincent's planning. 2 years after Genovese took mafia leadership, due to his criminal acts and recklessness, he got arrested on charges of promoting banned substances and got 15 years in prison. As we said, the boss remains even in prison, so he stayed the ultimate authority from inside, and Vincent executed all his orders. On the surface, Genovese was the authority, but in reality, Vincent was everything. And not only that, he changed all mafia policy. Everything became covert, not overt. In 1969, Genovese died in prison, and by consensus, Vincent was elected the new mafia boss. That's when the golden era began that no one imagined. Vincent was 41, while all the family bosses he ruled were over 70. But he was their whale in every sense. According to him, he had many plans but didn't want them attributed to Genovese, so he drew them up and registered them with him until the day he became mafia boss. One of the strangest steps he took, he banned killing completely. "You're Italian" means no killing. This was impossible in the mafia. The foundation was killing. So what was the solution? He said, "Make deals with Asian mercenaries. They'll handle this file. Form new gangs. Each gang hits, equips itself, launders money, and prepares for any mission. And always ensure enmities between all these formed gangs, so no day comes when they ally and turn against us." And indeed, the training was professional. They even used corrupt intelligence officers to teach them. Imagine an American officer training 10 Italians, and each Italian trainer in turn trains an Asian gang. Imagine after this step, everyone rebelled against Vincent. "How did you ban us from killing?" He told them, "Wait, I've prepared something better for you." The first law in the mafia,
No photography. No mafia member uses his real name. If one secretly tells a colleague his real name, we kill him. No one knows your real name, even if you're friends who knew each other before joining the mafia and knew real names. After joining, no calling by them. If it happens, you're killed. Not only that, from now on, no knowing who ranks higher than you. Everyone knows Vincent, but strictly forbidden for any reason to mention his name, even in casual talk. When you want to refer to him or talk about him, make a hand gesture. This gesture means you're talking about Vincent, but saying his name, you're killed. Vincent's assistants and direct workers, no one knew them. Secrecy became more important than the most important component of the Italian Mafia. You're allowed to know your family boss's name, but who he is and what he looks like, forbidden to know. If excessive curiosity makes you search and find out, you're kill-targeted. To control this process, he made everyone spies on everyone so all info reaches his team. Not only that, he created a special intelligence unit to know everything happening within the family. So what does the mafia do without killing and crime? Their job became managing mafia money. Vincent's goal, employ every Italian in America, make them all rich. He went into contracting, had over 30 construction companies, legal companies to cover their work, casinos, hotels, restaurants, all fields were projects. Of course, banned substances didn't stop, but became more precise and secret. Through his relations with the American government in illegitimate ways, Vincent eliminated all gangs working in banned stuff. His goal, this commodity only in Italian hands, and all the money goes to buildings, projects, investments. So the government was feeding the side, watching a scary financial giant grow. The image was very beautiful. The mafia became very peaceful. Of course, this superficially. Covertly, daily assassinations and night fights with light weapons happened. The mafia liquidated all enemies, had brutal wars with Mexicans and Colombians, all with government permission, but nothing proven on the Italians. Why? Because Asians do the work in killing.
But there was one big worry for Vincent. This guy was a family boss named Camorra, John Gotti. In short, this guy appeared a lot on media, talked more than anchors, had many statements and interviews, acted like a movie star. Charitable works, investment projects, TV shows, he was literally a media dog. He worked completely against Vincent's policy. That's why he had to be liquidated. His existence was destruction for the mafia and all the work done. Then Vincent ordered his assistants to take him out. 6 attempts, none succeeded. From car bombing to sending people to kill him at home, all failed. After the last attempt, Gotti called Vincent and said verbatim, "I surrender." He requested to meet and reach a solution. Vincent agreed, and they set a specific place. Gotti was reassured, impossible for Vincent to dare kill him, as it violated mafia laws completely, and he knew how disciplined and law-abiding Vincent was. At that time, Italians were forbidden from killing, let alone an Italian killing another Italian. Plus, he gave him safety, and Gotti knew if he hadn't broken many laws and wrecked everything, Vincent wouldn't have tried to assassinate him. So he went to the meeting place. Indeed, they reconciled. Afterward, Gotti understood the danger and promised Vincent he wouldn't appear on media again, and indeed, he disappeared completely and never reappeared. Everyone thought Gotti was smart, understood, got the situation, that he hid because Vincent was planning to liquidate him. As soon as Vincent completed the plan, in cooperation with FBI investigators, Gotti reappeared on media stronger than before. His goal, provoke Vincent to deal with him angrily and take revenge. Occupy Vincent's mind with revenge so he's not focused and falls before the court. But Vincent didn't react at all, busy with mafia assets everywhere. No choice but to frame him in a banned substances case, and indeed that's what happened. He framed Vincent and got him arrested on promotion charges. The surprise and shock, throughout the past period, Vincent wasn't busy, Vincent was crazy. When police arrested him, they noticed he wasn't normal, words incoherent, movements random, walk unnatural. Not only that, he peed in buckets, unbelievable for a normal person. They tried interrogating him, got no info. Vincent was shown to prison psychologists, and the doctors confirmed he was disturbed.
To clarify, these doctors were from the same prison. He didn't know them, no prior relation, and they confirmed Vincent was crazy. Then he went to court and was released because it was proven he was disturbed. Everyone saw Vincent on TV. Everyone confirmed he was crazy. Not only that, after release, every week he went to a mental hospital once and took meds. The matter was clear. Vincent went mad. So who was running the mafia? No one knew. How no one knew Vincent? Because of his strict secrecy laws. No one knew who the new mafia boss was. Not only that, things ran like clockwork. Any member violating laws, killed. Investments continued. Shady businesses continued. Nothing stopped. Who was running this? No one knew. Even Gotti was asked who the new mafia boss was. He said, "I don't know." All this while Vincent was closely watched by intelligence. Every day he wandered streets, sometimes without guards. Everyone saw him. Everyone confirmed he was crazy. Investigators, as puzzled as they were, asked the court for an official document to re-examine him, with official doctors chosen by the investigation division. All this to confirm he's really crazy. The matter ended and the court agreed, issuing the order.
The shock? He really was crazy. So who was running the mafia? No one knew. Now, you'll say his son was running everything because I mentioned him at the video's start, but no. Remember two incidents that happened. You'll know them soon. These literally wrecked everything. Importantly, the matter was very strange. No one understood. Police and investigators insisted Vincent couldn't possibly be the mafia godfather if crazy. And if crazy, why did his policy continue, even more precise? Things stayed strange. No one understood until 1992. Then Salvatore Riena appeared on the scene. This guy appeared after 30 years of Vincent wandering streets, and police convinced he was crazy. When Riena appeared, unbelievable things emerged. Riena was Gotti's assistant, and as expected, Vincent destroyed the mafia at Gotti's hands as much as Gotti appeared on media. Importantly, Riena was arrested in the act and got life in prison. Then investigators offered him a deal. Cooperate with us, we'll reduce your sentence to 6 years instead of life, but you tell us everything. Riena agreed and appeared in court on camera, live on official channels, telling everything. When Gotti saw Riena on TV, he said, "We ate him because Riena knows the well," and covered it. The surprise? This was one of Gotti's secret elements. He knew everything. The guy confessed all Gotti's crimes with evidence and proofs, pinpointed every crime's location, and told them Vincent wasn't crazy. He was running the mafia, and the 5 bosses knew. What happened was planned between Gotti and Vincent, meaning no conflict between Gotti and Vincent. The assassination attempts Vincent ordered against Gotti failed on purpose to fool police into thinking there was conflict. The secret meeting between them wasn't for reconciliation. The goal was planning the next step. In that meeting, Vincent gave the plan to Gotti, told him what he'd do, how he'd fool police, and plan with them to get caught. Vincent, of course, in exchange for a deal Gotti would make with police. Meaning, he told him, "Tell police I'm helping you catch Vincent, and in return, I want a clean file free of crimes." During this period, no contact between Vincent and Gotti. If police agree to my request, I'll return to media strongly. That move, returning to media, was the signal and code word between him and Vincent that the plan succeeded and investigators fell for it. Remember when I told you after they met, they agreed he wouldn't appear on media again. After a while, he did. That was the signal. Our plan is going perfectly. Investigators swallowed the bait. Meanwhile, Vincent trained to act crazy, took pills making him lose his mind temporarily, took them when facing medical boards. He hid the pills in the sock lining, and shortly before entering the exam and surveillance lifted, he took the pill from the sock and swallowed it. The pill made him hallucinate and act abnormal. That way, he appeared crazy. As soon as he left the exam and surveillance lifted, he remained in control, mafia running like clockwork. No one knew he was sane and aware except his close assistants and the 5 family bosses. He gave them instructions, they executed. This way, the mafia continued better than before for 30 years. As for the 2 incidents I mentioned, I'll tell you soon. First, once he was walking the street like a madman when suddenly a car passed by. He screamed the driver's name and greeted him like a totally normal person. When he noticed someone watching, he returned to weird behaviors like crazy.
Second incident? Once he and his assistant were crossing the street when a speeding car appeared. They ran with normal steps, not his usual walk, acting normal. Over 30 years, these two incidents alone convinced investigators Vincent wasn't crazy.
When Rena confessed with these admissions, investigators said, "See, we were right." First thing in '92, they arrested Gotti and put him in prison for life. Vincent stayed out because no evidence against him except Rena's confessions, which aren't necessarily true. Investigators hounded him for 5 years, then invented a genius way to expose him. They spread jokes among mafia men saying their boss was crazy, and they became a joke among gangs. Goal: make mafia elements hate him. Gradually, complaints arrived. Elements surrendered saying, "We did this on Vincent's order." Everyone's goal: eliminate him. Reason? One thing only. The FBI spread jokes. Indeed, he was arrested in 1997 despite being officially crazy on paper. Got 12 years. Still, Mafia ran fine. No evidence against him. The guy in prison, his movements and acts showed crazy. Who was running the Mafia? Investigators found the new manager was Andrew Gigante, Vincent's eldest son. Investigation showed he was giving instructions and running the Mafia. Vincent from prison. Andrew was just a front. Things stayed mysterious until 2003 when the truth came out and the story ended. Investigators went to Crazy Vincent, sat an investigator in front of him, threw a file full of papers and documents. "This file has all evidence proving your son is the new mafia boss. If opened, your son gets life. So, here's the offer. Confess the truth, tell everything. We promise your son gets 5 years only, but you take the charges. Or stay as you are, your son gets life. Open the file and see the documents right now." With difficulty, Vincent opened the file and looked at the papers. After being shaky and unnatural, acting crazy, he calmed, sat differently, said to investigator, "I want a cigarette." Suddenly, a normal person, then laughed loudly and said one sentence only, "You're the only person in 35 years to see Vincent Gigante's real face." If not for a million sources, I'd say it's a lie, movie, sci-fi. But Vincent Gigante's story is true and documented. He was a normal person, not crazy the whole time. Even when charges dropped and he appeared in court, he appeared normal, sat with pride and strength. After 3 years, he died in prison from liver disease causing acute kidney failure in 2006. Wait, from 2006? No, from 2003. Anyway. From 2006 to today, the Italian Mafia is the weakest entity in the United States. This proves Vincent Gigante was the strongest criminal leadership figure the U.S. knew. That was our story today. Hope you liked it. If interested in strange topics like this video. I recommend watching The Greatest Prison Escape, the story of a gang boss who baffled all Europe. Tell me your opinion in comments. Did police know Vincent was lying and ignored, or were they really convinced to the point he fooled them? I'm the honest one. See you in a new video.